Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Royal Report. I am your Royal 2IC, and today we're going to continue our daily headlines report. But first, check out the new shirt. Just got it from my friends over there at Sanctified Supply Co. They put out a two-shirt limited edition. I got the one shirt a while back. It was the Bear Independent Ungovernable shirt. And I went back to go get the other shirt and they sold out. And I was very, very sad. But uh, they released a little bit ago that they were putting these limited edition shirts back out. And the second I saw it, I went right in for it and bought it. It came in. Love my shirt from, there's the Bear Independent logo right there. So everything is there and I got it super excited. So that way I have my new shirt. So thank you to those folks over at Sanctified Supply. Sorry. Go check them out. Let's just jump right into this. There wasn't much that I saw. So this should probably be a short video. So first, there is a social media video that is coming out of, and I wanted to play this, but I was very, very tempted, but I don't know whose video it was, and so I don't want to get in trouble for posting other people's work without giving them credit. But there's a group of monkeys roaming around Gaza, apparently escaping from a bombed zoo. Now, we talked about this if you've followed this channel for any length of time, about the lion roaming around Rome. We showed that video. But this goes back into it. Are you prepared? When we do survival, we think of the things that are probable. So that is your floods, your fires, your natural disasters, your power grid goes down for a few hours, a couple of days. We prep for a lot of the things that you should prep for. Lions and monkeys probably don't make most people's lists. And I would challenge you when I made that video that it's one of the ones that once you get to a certain point in time, you have to start thinking outside the box. Because for a lot of new preppers that go, well, I'm going to take grandpa's hunting rifle and I'm going to go out and, bag me a deer. Okay, well, what happens when the lion escapes out, or even these monkeys? Are you prepared to round the corner and come face to face with that? I'm not, to be honest with you. So it's definitely given me some thought. Let's move on. So a U.S. official has come out and made the statement saying that the U.S. has not ruled out taking out the North Korea's new spy satellite. And of course, North Korea has a response for that. And they basically came out and said what you would think they would say, that if their satellite is altered, tampered with, or taken out, or anything along those lines, it's a declaration for war. Okay. And that's just what the world needs, right? Is another conflict, another war going on. So we'll see what happens with it. Speaking of outer space, scientists have come out and with a kind of a statement saying that due to the increased solar storms and solar activity, that there could be internet outages and blackouts that might last for weeks coming up in 2024. So we already have all these conflicts and all these wars going on. We already have inflation and economic troubles going on. Now we're talking about the internet going out. Okay, if the internet goes out for weeks, what does that do for the power grid? What does that do for the water? What does that do for basic transportation and logistics? So it's one of those things that if you've got a weekend where you're not as busy as normal, might be a good idea to sit down and war game that out. Going further, let's see. Okay, so there was a 7.7 magnitude earthquake off of the coast of the Philippines. That caused Japan to issue a tsunami warning. As far as I could tell, when they issued the warning, they said from this time to this time. If I did my math correctly, that time has passed, and I didn't see any sort of tsunami, anything on social media. You'd think there would probably be some. So I would assume that everything's a-okay as of now. I will update you tomorrow in that report if I am incorrect on that, but just from what I've seen, I think everything's okay. Speaking of notes, note that tomorrow is the official vote in Venezuela on whether or not they're going to annex the disputed territory in Guyana. It's not going to be a surprise when they vote yes. I know I'm going to say when they vote, not if. More than likely, it's going to be a pretty overwhelming majority is going to say yes, they need to. Now, the real question is if they're going to act on it. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to actually do it. So we'll just keep our eye on it and see what actually comes about it. Next, here's a funny one for you, a little sense of irony before we get into the last story. So the planes in Munich, well, that was en route to the global warming conference in Dubai, was grounded and basically frozen on the runway due to heavy snowfall. We'll see if I get one of them little out of context warning thingies under my video, since I said a whole bunch of things you're probably not supposed to say. But I find it a little amusing and ironic that the people are going to a conference flying on very small private jets, got frozen to the ground to go to a conference about global warming so they can in turn lecture all of us. So take it for what you will, okay? And if you have questioned where I stood on global warming, hopefully that answers that question. Now, as far as in the home front, I don't know what it is, but it seems like they go back and forth for whatever reason. It seems like there's a lot outside of the country and a little bit inside the country, and then it goes a lot inside the country and a little bit outside the country. Today's one of them days. I found basically one interesting story inside of the country. And this one is New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced the introduction of media literacy tools that will be put in place for schools for all kids in New York ages 5 to 18. And this will include the help of Homeland Security as well as other emergency service personnel. And basically, this is going to kind of come in it's going to be implemented so it'll teach the children and the teachers of the school how to not only spot and recognize conspiracy theories, misinformation, and hate speech online. Okay, if you cannot spot the indoctrination and psychological warfare that is, that just screams to me of no. More than likely, even though it is in New York, there will probably be a lot of court cases, and it probably will get stopped. I wouldn't be surprised if it went on for a while, but it'll probably get stopped. So we'll see. Now, keep in mind, I live in Ohio. I don't live in New York, but things like that concern me. And why do I bring them up is because if it can happen inside the United States, then it can happen where I am. I have a 4-year-old that will be starting school next year, and I don't want him learning how to do all this based on government whatever. That's not their job. And I'm a firm believer that school, especially for young children, is reading, writing, arithmetic, all that. I'll do the other teaching, thank you. So hopefully somewhere along the line in the future, whether it is a slow coming around where people will start standing up and flexing their no muscle and we start turning the country back around, or some other act causes a reset button to be taken, hopefully at some point we will get our schools back to where they need to be. So I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to get my wrist slapped right now. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with everything. So I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing Saturday. And to wrap it up, more information to come. God bless each and every one of you. And above all else, please remember to remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.